What if I told you poverty was never your destiny, but a program you unknowingly inherited? What if wealth was not a privilege, but a pattern you could learn? It's time to remember who you really are, to unlearn the lies and reclaim your power, starting today. Poverty is not written in your blood. It is written in your beliefs, and the moment you wake up to this truth, your life begins to shift, because every limitation you've accepted until now was not a fact, but a story repeated so many times it became your identity. But let's be clear, right now, you were not born to struggle. You were not designed to survive. You were created to expand, to thrive, to command the direction of your life. But first, you must awaken your mind from the programming of lack that has held you captive for years. Most people are not poor because of their environment or their circumstances. They are poor because no one ever told them they could choose different. Think different, act different, say it now. I am not my past. I am my potential. Because the poor mind is not a reflection of intelligence. It is a repetition of limitation. If you grow up hearing money is evil, or we can afford that, or people like us don't get rich, you absorb it not as opinion, but as law. And those invisible laws run your life without question. But starting today, we question everything. Starting today, we challenge the programming. Starting today, we rewrite the rules. Because you were not born with limits, you were taught them. And what is learned can be unlearned. The first step to awakening is awareness. Awareness that every thought you think is shaping your results. And every belief you hold is either building your future or stealing it from you. If you believe deep down that you're not worthy of wealth, you will sabotage every opportunity for it. If you believe success is only for others, you will unconsciously push it away. Your mind is a magnet, and it will attract what it expects. Say it out loud. My mind is magnetized to wealth, and now I challenge you to inspect your beliefs like your life depends on it, because it does. What did your parents believe about money? What does your community repeat? What patterns do you notice in your own thinking when you dream big? Do you get excited, or do you shrink in fear? Do you expect success or prepare for failure? This is where the chains must be broken, not with money first, but with mindset. Because mindset is the seed, and money is the fruit. And if your seed is scarcity, you will never reap abundance. I want you to say it now, with fire. I plant the seeds of abundance. Write this down. I do not inherit limitation. I create liberation. It doesn't matter where you came from, it matters where you're going. And how you think on the way there. History is full of people who came from dirt and rose to destiny. Not because they had help, but because they had hunger. They refused to believe that poverty was their fate. And you must do the same. Poverty is a mindset that can be changed, and today is the beginning of that change. From now on, you don't wait for permission. You don't wait for someone to save you. You become the one who saves yourself. And as you awaken your mind, you begin to see what was always hidden in plain sight. That your power is not missing. It is only buried beneath the lies. And when you rise, the world around you begins to rise too. Say it with conviction. I am not meant for survival. I was born for expansion. Because your life is a mirror, and it reflects the level of your awareness, and now that you are aware, you can no longer go back to sleep. Now you must move forward, and that journey continues with belief, clarity, and an unshakable purpose. Now that your mind has awakened, it is time to build the foundation of your transformation, and that foundation is belief. Because belief is the engine behind every breakthrough, every decision, every destiny. Without belief, you have no direction, no fuel, no reason to keep going when things get hard. And they will get hard, but belief is what makes the difference between those who quit and those who conquer. So let us ask the question that most never ask themselves honestly. What do you truly believe you deserve? Not what you say out loud to impress others, but what your heart really accepts as possible for you. Do you believe deep down that you are worthy of wealth, of freedom, of building a life on your terms? Or have you unconsciously accepted a ceiling that someone else placed over you? This is where 95% of people get stuck. They want more, they dream more, but they don't believe more, and that's the gap that kills dreams. Desire without belief is delusion, and it leads to a life of frustration and quiet suffering. But when belief and desire align, they create purpose. And purpose is the most powerful force you will ever carry inside you. Purpose gives meaning to pain, direction to chaos, and energy when motivation disappears. Say this out loud. I believe I am meant for more. Now write this down. I am driven by purpose, not fear. Your definite purpose is the answer to the question, why do I want to be rich? Not just how, not just when, but why. What will your wealth represent? What will it allow you to become? Who will it help you serve? The truth is, money is not the goal. Purpose is, and money is the amplifier. When you lack purpose, money corrupts. But when you have purpose, money multiplies your impact. So stop chasing numbers and start building meaning. Define your mission clearly and boldly. Make it emotional, make it urgent, make it personal. Because without a strong why, your how will collapse. When your purpose is strong, you'll wake up earlier. Fight harder, focus longer, and stay in the game when others quit. This is the fire most people never light, and that is why they drift. They live reacting instead of designing, surviving instead of creating. But you are not most people. You are the few who dare to decide. Say it now. I live by design, not by default, from this moment forward. Your life is no longer a product of the past. It becomes a project of your belief and your purpose. Do not settle for vague goals or wishful thinking. Define exactly what you want, why you want it, and who you must become to make it real. Then write it down daily, speak it out loud, and feel it as if it's already yours, because the subconscious does not respond to logic. It responds to repetition, emotion, and belief. And when you repeat your purpose with unshakable belief, the world starts to move in ways you never imagined. People appear, ideas spark, opportunities show up. Because you no longer chase success, you become aligned with it. Your purpose becomes your compass, and belief becomes the wind that drives you through any storm. Now that your belief is clear and your purpose is burning, you must understand the most powerful tool you have been given, and that is your subconscious mind. It is not just a part of your brain, it is the engine behind your entire reality. It is the hidden architect of your habits, emotions, behaviors, and decisions. The subconscious does not argue. It does not question. It simply obeys. It takes whatever you feed it repeatedly and turns it into truth, into behavior, into life. And that is why most people remain poor, not because they lack intelligence, but because they feed their subconscious fear, doubt, limitation. They watch the news and hear that the economy is bad, and their mind obeys. They hear that rich people are greedy, and their mind obeys. They repeat that money is hard to make, and their mind obeys. And before they know it, they are living a reality shaped by lies they never chose. But absorbed, this is where you take back control. This is where you become the master of your inner programming. Say this out loud. My subconscious serves my vision. Write this down. I reprogram my mind with truth. You must understand that your external world is nothing more than a mirror of your internal beliefs. If you want to change your bank account, change your thoughts. If you want to change your lifestyle, change your mental patterns. This is not magic. This is mechanism. The subconscious is like a fertile soil, and every thought you repeat is a seed. Plant scarcity, and you harvest struggle. Plant abundance, and you harvest freedom. So how do you reprogram it? With repetition, emotion, and alignment. You must speak your goals daily with passion. Not like a robot, but like a warrior. Say it now with power. I was born to be rich. I attract money easily. I command wealth with my thoughts. These are not just affirmations. They are instructions to your subconscious. The more you speak them, the more you believe them, and the more you believe them, The more they become your identity, and once your identity changes, your life follows. But it requires consistency. You cannot feed your mind one empowering idea a day and then drown it in fear, gossip, and negativity for the rest of the day. This is war. And your subconscious is the battlefield. You must guard what enters your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. The music you listen to, the conversations you entertain, the content you consume. It is all programming. The question is it programming you for poverty or prosperity, for fear or faith, for reaction or creation? The greats like Henry Ford, Edison, and Carnegie understood this. They didn't have superior genes. They had superior programming. They repeated their vision until the world had no choice but to obey it. And now it is your turn. You must become the conscious commander of your subconscious mind. Feed it what you want it to build. Feed it with purpose, with vision, with certainty, and it will reshape your world to match. Because when your inner world changes, your outer world must follow. At this stage of your journey, you are armed with awareness, belief, and the power of your subconscious mind. But there are two silent killers that still lurk in the shadows. And they must be faced directly if you are serious about rising out of financial struggle and into abundance. Those two enemies are fear and procrastination. Fear is the invisible fence that keeps most people living small. It whispers lies like, what if you fail? What if you lose it all? What if they laugh at you? And to many listen, they let fear dictate their dreams, shape their decisions, and freeze their movement. And the longer they stay frozen, the louder procrastination becomes. It starts as a pause, then becomes a habit, then a way of life. A comfortable prison where dreams slowly rot and regret grows like weeds. But you must remember this. Fear is not fact. It is memory or imagination dressed as truth. And procrastination is not laziness. It is doubt in disguise. Doubt in your worth. Doubt in your ability. Doubt in your future. But you must break this cycle by doing one powerful thing: taking action before you feel ready. The secret is that you will never feel fully ready. Clarity comes from doing, not from thinking. Confidence comes from progress, not from perfection. You must build momentum by moving forward. Even when your hands shake, even when your mind screams, wait, say this out loud. I move through fear. I act with courage. Write this down. I act now, not later. Every successful person you admire faced fear, every single one, but they moved anyway. They didn't wait for fear to disappear. They walked with it until it grew quiet. And you must do the same. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Stop saying someday and start saying now. Now is the only time that exists. And now is where change lives. You may feel like you're not ready to build your dream. But the truth is, your dream is not waiting for you to be perfect. It's waiting for you to be bold. Every time you take a step toward it, fear loses power. And every time you delay, it grows stronger. So crush it by doing the thing you fear most. Make the call, create the plan, record the video. Ask for the opportunity, because nothing happens until something moves. The universe responds to energy, not excuses. And energy is released through bold action. Think about this. What have you been avoiding that you know deep down is the key to your next level? Write it down. Then do it today. Not tomorrow, today. Fear and procrastination only win when you remain passive. But you are no longer passive. You are powerful. You are purposeful. You are done living at half your potential. Say it again with power. I am not a prisoner of fear. I am a creator of results. Because when you act through fear, you teach your mind that you are stronger than it. And once you teach your mind that, it starts working for you instead of against you. And when that happens, your next step becomes clear. Build your action plan and move with intensity. Now that fear has been confronted and procrastination crushed, the time for decisive, strategic action begins. Because without a plan, your dreams are just wishes floating in the air. and wishes without execution are the fuel of poverty. You must understand this with absolute clarity. No one is coming to save you. No miracle is landing on your lap. If you want to rise, you must build. If you want wealth, you must move like it's already yours and make decisions that align with that future. And that starts with creating a clear, bold, and practical plan of action. Say it out loud. I move with purpose. Write this down. I don't wait. I build. Your plan does not need to be perfect. It needs to be simple, focused, and consistent. Stop overthinking and start outlining exactly what needs to happen every single day to get closer to the life you desire. What do you need to learn? What skills must you master? What platforms or tools must you begin using? Who do you need to become? What habits must you cut off immediately, and what must be added to your daily routine that moves the needle? This is about ownership, not just inspiration. Inspiration without a roadmap is dangerous because it feels like progress, but it produces none. You must schedule your days like a professional, not an amateur. Because wealth flows to the disciplined, not the distracted. Create a system of action that is repeatable and measurable. And hold yourself to it as if your future depends on it, because it does. Do not allow yourself to drift through the day based on mood, feelings, or comfort. Control your time, or your time will control you. And time wasted is wealth denied. The most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They do the most important things, even when they don't feel like it, because they are driven by commitment, not emotion, and so must you. Structure your mornings. Protect your focus. Eliminate distractions that steal your energy. Create blocks of time for learning, creating, building, and reflecting, and track your progress daily. Your plan is your proof of seriousness, and your execution is your proof of belief. Stop saying, I'll try, and start declaring, I do. Stop saying, I hope, and start saying, I create. Every goal must be broken into tasks, every task into time, and every time block protected like gold. Because it is, you must train your nervous system to act even when doubt whispers, even when you don't see results immediately. Because this game is not about instant gratification, it's about sustained execution. The wealth you want is waiting behind the discipline you resist. The time to act is not when you feel ready, but when you feel resistance, because resistance is the signal that you're stepping into growth, not retreat. So move forward, one step every day, one brick at a time. Say this now. I am the architect of my future. I don't react. I create, because planning is power and action is proof. And now, with your plan set in motion, your next step is to build habits that make success automatic. Now that you have a plan and have stepped into action, it is time to build the foundation that will carry you forward even when motivation fades. And that foundation is made of habits, because in the end, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Habits are the autopilot of your future, the patterns you repeat without thinking. And if you do not consciously design them, they will unconsciously destroy you. Poor people hope for change. Rich people engineer it through consistent behavior. So let's be clear. Wealth is not about one big decision. It's about the small choices you make every single day when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when it feels boring or hard. That is where your future is decided. Say this out loud. My habits create my destiny. Write this down. I repeat success daily. And understand this, your habits are not just what you do, they are who you are becoming every time you wake up early instead of snoozing every time you read instead of scroll. Every time you invest instead of spend, you are casting a vote for the future version of yourself that already lives the life you desire. But you must make this process sacred. You must treat your habits like rituals, non-negotiable, unbreakable, undeniable. Start with the morning, because your first hour dictates your focus, your energy, your identity. Do not begin your day with chaos or distraction. Begin it with clarity and control. Speak your affirmations. Visualize your goals. Write them again and again until your subconscious accepts them as law. Say this now: I was born to be rich. My mind attracts abundance. I act like a millionaire before I become one. Then structure your day around high-impact habits that multiply results. Learn daily, sell daily, invest wisely, track your money, respect your time, feed your mind with success, your body with strength, your spirit with belief, and your circle with greatness. You must stop tolerating mediocrity in your routine, because mediocrity in routine creates misery in results. Wealthy people are obsessed with what they repeat, and so must you be. Every habit you allow is either a deposit or a withdrawal from your destiny. Do not wait for motivation to show up. Build habits that function without it. Automate your progress so that you no longer rely on emotion. Because discipline is the path to freedom. And freedom is the result of repetition. Protect your environment as well. Your habits are shaped by what surrounds you. Your friends, your inputs, your energy. And if anything in your life is not aligned with the person you are becoming, it must be changed or removed, because your destiny depends on it. Say this now: I do what must be done, not what feels good. I repeat what works until I win. Because once your habits are locked in place, success becomes inevitable. It becomes a pattern, a rhythm, a lifestyle. And as you build these wealth habits, you begin to rise above your old self, above your past, above the identity of struggle that you once believed was your destiny. And now comes the final piece of your transformation: inspiration to rise higher than you ever thought possible. This is the moment where your old self ends and your true life begins. The moment where excuses melt and your greatness takes over. Because now you have no more reasons left to stay small. You have no more lies left to believe. You have heard the truth. You have looked poverty in the face and said, "No more. You are not broken. You are not cursed. And you are not a victim of destiny. You are the creator of it. And the only question that matters now is this: what will you do with everything you now know? Will you sit on it and let it fade? Or will you stand on it and let it lift you?" Say this with strength: I refuse to live one more day in survival. I rise into purpose, into prosperity, into power. Because the difference between the 95% who stay stuck and the 5% who break free is not luck. It is decision. It is ownership. It is intensity. The poor wait for the right moment. The wealthy create it. The poor wait for the economy to change. The wealthy change themselves. The poor wait for motivation. The wealthy rely on discipline. And now you must choose which side of that line you stand on. You can no longer pretend you don't know what to do. The path is clear. The tools are in your hands. The question is, do you want it badly enough to pay the price of transformation? Because it will cost you your laziness, your comfort, your victimhood, and your addiction to waiting. But in return, you get freedom, legacy, impact, fulfillment, and the unshakable power of knowing you built it yourself. No one gave it to you. No one handed it over. You created it from within. So let today be the line in the sand. The day you stop telling your old story and start building a new one. The day you stop looking for permission and start giving yourself full access to your potential. Say it out loud: I am no longer available for lack. I am fully aligned with wealth, and then act like it, speak like it, walk like it, lead like it. Because you cannot lie to the universe, and the universe responds not to what you want, but to who you are. Become the person who attracts riches by embodying discipline, hunger, boldness, and belief. Let your success be your voice, your work be your proof, your habits be your prayers, and your results be your roar. And if this message lit a fire inside you, don't let it die. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment with your breakthrough moment. Like this video so others rise with you. And subscribe now, because your journey to wealth, power, and purpose is only getting started.